not put Humpty together again. All rise for our judgment.
Be seated. I present the case of Miss H. Dumpty versus all the King's men. The prosecution will begin, Miss Dumpty being represented by Grobble, and all the King's men being defended? Represented by Tuft. You may proceed.
I am Grobble, an angry Grobble. I am a prosecutor who defies the accepted, who knows what has conspired and will stand up for what is truth. My client, Mrs. H. Dumpty, is not a clumsy woman. She is a woman of grace and dignity. She holds several titles and balancing spoons and has served in many roles with noses, and has yet to be bested. Why do I say this? Would this woman fall? She was pushed. Attempted murder. I rest.
Jesus Christ. Continue.
Praise him. That Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the pride and the joy of our kingdom. Our holy knights. They protect our castles. The king's castle in particular. These men, these great men, saw Mrs. Dumpty loitering along the castle wall. They let it go. Only to find this buffoon, hours later, a cracked and broken mess. They did all they could to put her back together again. They even allowed the horses to have a chance. And how do we repay them? With accusations of murder? What a land we live in. And I'm done.
Prosecution calls the knight Chancer.
Wake up!
Yes, and thank you. Murder. What did you see that day?
I saw old Humpty on that wall. Oh, we've kicked her out several times, her and her smart mouth, acting all high and mighty, winning those contests, if that's what you can even call them. She thinks she's hard-boiled. I know better. Deep down, she's nothing. I'm a knight, for Christ's sake.
Praise him.
Oh, I've been through more battles than hills she's rolled down, and she accuses me of attempted murder. I got your attempted murder with this there battle axe. Sword.
Awfully aggressive, wouldn't you agree? Anywho, what was Miss Humpty doing on the wall that day?
If you ask me, asking for it. She was up on the wall doing one of her balancing acts, and the people were on the other side cheering. It was bound to happen. She's an idiot, a giant egg on a wall. Of course she fell, and I was nowhere near her. I was at the watchtower. Obviously, I was watching.
Fair enough. Why did I call you first? It's yours.
Fair Knight Chancer, thank you for your services, and I do apologize that we waste your time with these frivolous affairs. However, I am going to have to ask you a couple of questions. Did you notice anything strange about Mrs. Dumpty in the time that you have known her?
Yes. She's a giant egg with hands and feet.
By God, she is! Silence!
Clearly, you were chosen for your keen observation skills.
Anyone can see that I'm an egg.
You shut your trap, girl. I know what you're made of.
You can't take me.
Oh, is that so? You think because of that hard shell you can say what you want? Deep down, I know you're yellow.
That's enough! I'm banished from this courtroom.
I'm done.
You're done.
You're done.
From now on, I will not accept any witnesses who threaten my life. I normally don't feel this needs to be stated, but under the circumstances, I feel inclined.
And how exactly, Judge, are we going to know if we're going to do that?
How would you know, Tuft? How would you know?
I'm sorry?
Calling Sir Rubics.
Are you kidding me? Do something.
Objection?
On what grounds?
I was asleep and I heard nothing.
Sustained. Tuft, give him a summary.
It has been declared that Mrs. Dumpty is a giant egg.
Is that it?
That is all.
And who is this?
This is Sir Rubics. He's the great inventor and solver of puzzles.
Pleasure to meet you, Sir Rubics. Ladies and gentlemen, this man recently invented a peculiar cube, one that takes a reasonable amount of intelligence. Do you consider yourself an educated man, Sir Rubics?
I did invent the cube, you know. I can solve it in about 6 seconds. Observe. Ah! I'm also very apt at bobbing.
Were you at the scene of Mrs. Dumpty's fall?
Indeed I was. There was a large gathering of people, and I was there to market my cube. Not like the common folks would understand it anyhow.
Interesting. That means you surely saw the scrambled mess of Mrs. Dumpty strewn about after her fall.
Absolutely. She was in about 1 million pieces, and the people were trying to put her together. Hilarious watching the common folk move those pieces and the horses. Golden, buddy.
In your extensive experience in puzzle solving, does it help to have the horses stomp and gnaw at the pieces?
Hardly. Animals? I could have put it back together in no time. I did invent the cube, you know.
But you didn't help. You contributed in the attack of an already down woman. You wanted to see her trampled to near death because you thought it was funny.
Her sunny side was up, and I didn't want to touch her.
Resting.
Sir Rubics, your duties as knight include what?
I solved puzzles and on the occasional Sudoku, and I found the harder ones to be pretty lovely, and the easier ones are a waste of my time.
But as knight, do you not protect the people of this fine country?
Is this 20 questions? I once asked RuPaul in 5 questions.
No, this is a courtroom. And I'm trying to defend you, so answer the question. Do you not protect the people of this fine country?
I solved puzzles. I just said that, you egghead.
Objection! Defamation of the prosecution. That's just an example of what to say in case you have one next time, bro.
Sir Rubics, has solving puzzles ever immediately or in some way helped defend the people of this fine country?
It has. It has helped me win many bets against the common folks. And also, I can solve Connect 4 in 3 moves.
Even if that is possible, are you telling me that you have done nothing but help yourself?
Clearly, that's what I've just stated.
Sorry. Thank you, Sir Rubics. Your puzzles are worthless.
Objection!
You can't do that.
I don't know where you are. When I find out, the prostitution calls Maggie.
Maggie, what type of egg would you say that Mrs. Dumpty was?
She is rather big. Perhaps an ostrich.
Not what I mean. I mean, just judging from looks.
I cannot answer that. I do not condone racism. Besides, it is what is on the inside that counts. And she looks a bit watery for my taste. You'd have to cook her for an awfully long time if you don't.
Again, you have completely misunderstood what I'm trying to ask you. I mean, what type of personality does Mrs. Dumpty have?
There is no person to it. I would say that she's clearly an egg, who acts rather boastfully, although she does have a right to it. That is a pretty talented egg. She's the only humanoid egg I've ever seen. I've even tried to make a few myself. Human eggs, that is. Giant ones.
Maggie, during this cross-examination...
Don't cross me! I'll give you a chicken beak right here, right now!
I want you to answer the questions completely honestly as we are in court. Did you know Mrs. Dumpty before today?
Yes. We won an egg roll contest a few years back. Given her extremely round shape and my powers of wind control, we dominated every part of the competition.
Well, maybe you could show us a little magic.
Well, of course. Let me see. What's that? Completely vanished. And back.
Amazing. But maybe you could show us something fancier.
Absolutely. Please, Tuft, come a little closer to me. What's that shiny thing behind your... Oh! That's one of my greatest feats.
Astonishing! But maybe you could show us something else.
Now it just seems like you're trying to make me do free tricks. But okay, here's another one. Please come a little bit closer to me again. Come on. A little bit closer. A little bit. Ha! Huh?
That wasn't a trick. You yelled at me.
I believe that was my favorite trick.
Motion passed. Court take note that was the greatest trick ever.
That was the dumbest. I'm sorry. Maybe you could show us some of your wind power.
I see. I'm not fond of your attitude, Tuft. But here, this is how Mrs. Dumpty and myself won a few years back. Oh. Huh? Whip, snapple, pop! Oh!
Oh! Why would you do that?
I still got it.
Okay, that's just enough. I think you've been more trouble than what you're worth.
Object! An object. Gavels are objects. I'm holding one right here. You may go on with the interrogation.
I was actually done interrogating your honor.
You never interrogate a judge's honor. If there was any question of my honor, I'd be a defense like you.
Objection!
Sustained.
Thank you.
continue?
Yes. Miss Maggie? Miss Maggie?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you.
The court will now have a short recess. Done!
Your Honor, both the defense and the prosecution would like a few moments of deliberation.
Though I believe that's sufficient time for anything, I will allow it.
So, how do you think this is going so far, Miss Dumpty?
Well, it's going really well, you know, that you're doing a really good show. I just hate to think about everything going wrong and the plan not coming out correctly.
Really? You think I'm doing a good job? Superb. Glad to hear it. Thought I was doing particularly awful this evening in all regards.
Well, you know, if it keeps going this way, then the defense will surely win. And you're doing an excellent job. I'm excited.
Wait, I haven't quite caught your meaning.
Your Honor. I was just wondering, how does the defense, like myself, become a judge like you?
Well, my whole family is and will always be judges. Why? We never mess up. Our verdicts always ring true. Whoever we decide is guilty has without doubt been sentenced as guilty. I suppose that means we're through. Dumpty.
I will tell you what happened. And use it. These buggers got up all in my little Dumpty's face. And peer pressure her to get up on that wall. Make her show off all these balancing skills. I watched the whole thing. All placing bets on how long she'd last up there. Betting on my little Dumpty's life. She was doing fine. Until I saw someone hit her. Right in her eggnog.
This is enough. I think that we should continue on with a manner that is appropriate for the courtroom.
Mother, please.
Or not.
Mother, please don't. Our lives are in danger. You know the agreement.
Well, I can't hold it in anymore. They almost killed you.
What am I supposed to do? I can't balance forever. I'm an egg. I'm a cracked and broken egg. What am I supposed to do? No one's gonna hire me to do anything. And you. You're a woman who lays eggs. Who's gonna marry you? And maybe, just maybe it would have been okay if I would have hatched into a normal kid. But no. Alas, I never did hatch. I just got bigger, and I grew hands and feet. I'm a freak.
A delicious freak. I'm sorry. My apologies.
Fine. I did it. I threw a cube at her. Wanted to see her break. 1, I would have won the bet. 2, what better puzzle than a giant broken egg? But when I saw the mess she made, I didn't want to go anywhere near her. But it was just hilarious. I sat back and I watched the common folk move the pieces around. And those horses. Dumb idea. I made enough money off the cubes to pay everybody off. Even Mrs. Humpty herself.
Oh, Mother, what are we gonna do now? I can't do my act forever. And Father's been gone ever since he thought you were unfaithful with God knows what. What are we gonna do for money?
Don't worry, kid. I'm a lawyer. And I would Humpty that Dumpty any time.
Honey, I lay giant tasty eggs.
A truly disgusting method of survival and well-being. I find all of you guilty of wasting my time. This case is a journey.